And boys, we are back here with another college football video. Today, what I got for y'all is talking all about abilities and strategy with abilities. Before we get into today's video, I do want to talk about our sponsor real quick, MMOEXP.com. If you guys want an alternative to buying packs, consider buying coins at MMOEXP and make sure to use code DILL at checkout for 5% off your order. Now, we are going to start off on the offense side of the ball, and I do just want to start off this video by saying the fact that the AP is 12 now, there's probably an ability combination that I'm not going to cover today. It's going to be basically impossible to cover everything because you have a lot of customization of what you can do, but I want to talk about some abilities that I'm liking and what I'm recommending. So we're going to go ahead and go position by position, go over some abilities that I like. First off, we're going to start off with quarterback right here. I am rocking Jalen Milroe as my quarterback. Now, we do have that like next step up with Magician. We have that Silver Magician. I think Magician is absolutely great if you want to scramble with your quarterback. Now, I know that's not necessarily everyone's style, so this might not fit your scheme, but if you're drop back passing a ton and you still want to create with your quarterback, that's why you would run Magician. Some other things on Jalen Milroe that I really like. I like the combo of Magician and also Dot. Dot gives you just that little bit of like an accuracy boost. Even when I'm on just the placement setting, I do feel like Dot is really nice to get. I notice less random inaccurate, so it's also 1 AP, so you're not spending a ton on it. So I rock 3 AP on my quarterback, and that's what I'm using. Now, some other scheme specific things, I think mobile resistance is really good. This is if you're like rolling out a lot, it's going to make you get less inaccurates on the run. I think the combo of mobile resistance and also mobile deadeye makes a ton of sense. Again, scheme specific. If you're more of a pocket passer, I think getting step up on Silver, if you're maneuvering the pocket well, I think the combo of like Dot and step up as well make a ton of sense. If you're more of like a pocket passer, this will lead to, again, more accurate throws. I also like extender as well. This is really good when you're playing like a heavy blitz look, and Jalen Milroe can just shrug off sacks. If you've used Alabama and Regs at all, you will know extender is a little bit crazy at times. And yeah, really the only other thing that I think is worth to talk about on quarterback, or really just every position in general, workhorse and recoup. I think stamina and also wear and tear are still pretty evident in the game. Like there's games where you can lose like crazy stats, an accuracy standpoint, from a throw power standpoint. So getting workhorse to protect you from wear and tear or also recoup makes sense. And that goes for every single position. But again, just to reiterate what I like on the quarterback, Silver Magician and also the Bronze Dot ability. So again, for me right now, I'm spending 3 AP on my quarterback. Now let's go to running back right here. I have Taj Brooks because why the hell not? Running back abilities. I'm not really too much of a runner myself. I probably run with my quarterback more than I do my running back. Again, I pass like probably 90% of the game, but running back abilities that I really like, I honestly am not too big of a fan of like the 360 Silver and also the sidestep Silver and the head first, like pretty much all the things that help the ball carrier moves. I don't feel like they're that noticeable right now. Maybe once we get to the platinum level. Also, if you guys want to know like a little bit of a glitch or maybe this is a bug or something, if you read the description of Silver sidestep, it's actually the platinum description. I tried this out. I don't think it works at the platinum level in game, like it's not bugged like that, but just saying, it's there. You'll see ultimate ability to fake out, while other things are decent ability, right? But again, besides that, you have things like what's called workhorse on the running back as well. If you are a heavy runner, I don't hate the combo of workhorse and recoup together. If you are a heavy run player, keeping your running back in the game, especially you have something like DeAnthony Thomas, I think that'll make a major difference. But however, if there was one running back ability that I would recommend the most, it has to be Shifty. I think this makes your left stick movement absolutely crazy, and again, can fake out AI defenders as well. If you are a heavy runner and you're not running Shifty, I feel like you're doing it a little bit wrong. So I would run Shifty over sidestep, over downhill, over 360, you name it. I'd rather run Shifty. But as you're going to see, for me, I'm actually not running any running back ability. Now, at receiver right here, we are starting to get like some silver cutters, some gold cutters. I don't think you need gold, silver, or bronze cutter. I don't think you need it. But for 1 AP, cutter on bronze isn't bad value. I actually will talk about this in a second once we talk about tight end, but press pro is also really nice as well, being able to beat the press. A man beating ability and potentially press beating ability, you get all in one with takeoff on bronze. And I think takeoff is by far and away the best ability for a receiver. If you read the description, slightly quicker release off the line would not be impressed. this works when they get pressed. It does. Like, it lights up. This leads to them getting into their routes faster, and just, I love the takeoff ability. If you pass the ball a ton and you're not using takeoff, I think you're playing at a disadvantage. So takeoff would be my number one ability I recommend for receiver. And as you're going to see on my team, that's where my AP setup ends. I run 3 of them. I run 3 takeoffs, and I run a Silver Magician quarterback with the dot ability. That's my favorite setup right now. But again, we'll cover some other things that I could see you run in. Honestly, one of the things that I would like to run potentially is cutter on the tight end. I don't mind the jackpot ability either on the bronze level. It's kind of just like, I don't want to say a throwaway 1 AP ability, but positional advantage, slightly improved to win jump balls downfield in single coverage. Kind of a fun ability as well. But honestly, the ability I would run on the tight end, if you can get it, some tight ends can, is the cutter on bronze. This gives you a little bit better cut moves against man coverage. I don't think you need it on someone like Cooper Flanagan because he has 95 medium route running, but I think it's good. I think that's a good ability to run on the tight end. I don't mind that at all. And just as a quick overview for the offensive line as well, I think the one ability that can make the biggest difference is quick drop on bronze. I think what this is a good counter to is potentially the quick jump meta on defense that we'll talk about in a little bit when we talk about defense. But the thing about that is you can also counter quick jump by just running a play action play. Like, quick jump won't light up with play action. You don't need to spend AP here, but if your base play has like a unique route that you need to call that play and it's not a play action play, then I understand why you would have like some quick drops. I think the other offensive line abilities, honestly, man, I feel like they're too high in AP for me to recommend running them now. Now, again, that's a scheme specific thing. Some of you guys might want to run 4 ground and pound silvers, right? Some of you guys might want to do play action shield, outside shield, all this stuff, all these abilities right here. You could probably cook up some nasty stuff in a specific scheme, but for me, I don't really run that. So yeah, that's like an overview of the abilities that I like in my current setup and why I'm doing what I'm doing. Now, another thing I want to talk about, and we can talk about this on the defense side of the ball as well, the fact that we have 12 AP now, I don't hate, okay? So say for instance, right, I take off dot on Jalen Milroe and I take off take off on Ryan Williams, right? We would have 4 AP to spend. What if I went to Rondale Moore and I just made him like a super receiver? And what I mean by that is, say for instance, I put, obviously we have takeoff for 3. I can then put press pro silver on him, and I can also go cutter on silver as well. So basically, I'm making Rondale Moore like the star of my offense. You can do the same thing with running back as well. You can do the same thing with quarterback. Like, again, some of the combos I was talking about with Jalen Milroe, like mobile resistance, mobile deadeye. You can overload AP on specific players. Now, is that smart? Potentially, like if you have one spot in your offense where you're like, I want this receiver to eat, I think that's where it's really good. So yeah, that's just something I wanted to cover. I think it's really fun. I think it's cool. And I think it can be effective as well. And you can just overload abilities on one specific player. And honestly, I'm going to start doing that in more gameplay videos. We did it in the Jalen Milroe video, but yeah, just overloading one player with abilities and making him like the superstar of the team. I think that's really nice. And that's really everything I wanted to cover on offense. Again, for me, Silver Magician, the dot ability, and 3 takeoff receivers. Now, let's go to the defense side of the ball, where I think the biggest thing that you have to ask yourself is, are you running man coverage or are you running zone coverage? Because that really decides basically everything you're doing on defense. And in my opinion, I do think zone is better. So I am running all out zone, and my favorite ability setup on defense right now is 6 ballhawks, and I run the 3-2-6 defense. So basically everyone in my secondary has the ballhawk ability besides my user. This is slightly improved ability to break after a pass has been released. It makes your zone a little bit. What you're going to notice about my team as well with my strategy items, everyone on my defense hits 90 zone besides my slot DBs. I just like Travis Hunter a lot. That's why I'm using him. So yeah, I mean, Wesley hits 90 zone. Besides the ballhawk ability and zone coverage, what can you do? Well, you do have a lot of options, man. I would say right now, I am actually not a fan of running like the aftershock or the knockout ability. Knockout, what it says is slightly more knockouts and less broken tackles on standing catch attempts by the offense. I'd rather go the ball hawk because I think you get more knockouts with ball hawk than you do knockout. I know, kind of weird. And yeah, I'm also just not a fan of running like the aftershocks. Like aftershock, I get why you would run it, but you would only have 2 of them on the field. Is that worth it? I would say no. And really all the other linebacker type of abilities I don't like. So yeah, aftershock and like knockout, we're not going to talk about today, or we're going to talk about not running them. So again, we talked about man versus zone. We're still in the secondary right here. What else can you do? I think you could go 4 house calls, and I get it. However, I tried it myself because in theory, I think house call should be like an elite level ability. You still drop so many interceptions with house call, and spending 3 AP on that, it's like, I can't recommend it. I can't recommend it because especially when you have something like the ballhawk ability that is going to light up every single time they're in zone coverage and they throw the ball, right? I just think maybe house call on like the gold or like the platinum level will be ideal, and it would be really nice to catch those interceptions. But I also feel like house call on silver for 3 AP is kind of crazy. I think this should be a 1 AP ability because I feel like it has a simple counter, and the counter is don't throw right at the defense, right? Boom, crazy concept. But yeah, house call is cool. I like house call, but again, I'm on the ballhawk wave right now. Now, you also get something like robber right here. And I feel like robber isn't exactly what the description says, and slightly improved movement and zone coverage. I feel like this is more of a user ability than it is like an AI coverage ability, because robber on your user, I like, and I could see why you would run it. But I wouldn't run it on like AI players. Like I wouldn't run this on my outside corner. I would run it on my user because again, slightly improved movement and zone coverage. Your user, put them in like a hook curl, flat, whatever, move around with them, and you're gonna have a crazier user. So I like this ability. I think it'll be really great silver or gold. Right now it's still in the bronze level. I just can't really justify it for 3 AP, but I think eventually this will be something that's great. And again, going back to the question I asked earlier, do you run man or zone? I feel like they're kind of trying to make a man coverage meta because we get jammer and also what's called blanket coverage on silver. Now it is 3 AP. The question is, which one do you run? It's tough because I feel like blanket coverage gets countered by like cutter, and then jammer gets countered by like press pro or takeoff. I would say the jammer because I think man coverage is only good when you get those good press animations. Now, again, like I was saying with the offense, I think this is very evident on defense. What you can do is you can make like a super corner, right? Say you want to run blanket coverage and jammer on one player, that is 6 AP. You could run 2 of those. And I get it. Like basically you're saying these 2 players are going to lock down 2 receivers on offense, right? I get that, but then you get a little bit like more weak with like your other pieces on secondary. Just something you could do, right? So I would go jammer over blanket coverage, and I think they're on the same level as an ability. I just think again, man coverage is really only good when you get the good press animation, right? Which with takeoff, with the press pros, it's kind of why I'm not a fan of man coverage, man. I don't really think it's that great in the game. And yeah, that's really everything I wanted to cover from a secondary standpoint. Again, for me, I'm running 6 ballhawks, just to reiterate. And now we can talk about defensive line right here, or pass rush. And the obvious one, of course, is quick jump. I mean, a quick jump, it can make some blitzes crazy. It can. But again, the reason why I kind of got off the quick jump train is the fact that it does have a simple counter. It's play action, right? Like if you run a play action play versus quick jump, they will never light up. That just makes it really tough for me to be like, yeah, I want to run the quick jumps, right? When it has such a simple counter. I guess maybe the counter to play action is just send more people. I get it. I am personally off the quick jump train. That's all I gotta say about that. I understand why you would run it, but again, I do feel like it does have a simple counter. And again, for defensive line, like you have things like the outside disruptor, inside disruptor. Like you can run a bunch of those abilities as well to help you stop the run. I think that makes sense for me. I just want to make sure my pass defense is on point because I feel like I can stop every run in the game with my defensive formation 3-2-6. And yeah, boys, this has been all my updated thoughts on abilities in college football ultimate team. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. Let me know some of your guys' favorite AP setups. Again, for me, just to go over everything one more time, silver magician, dot, 3 takeoffs on offense, and defense, I have 6 ballhawks. So let me know your guys' favorite setup though. Hopefully I was able to help you in this video. Again, I know I went over a bunch of different abilities, but there is a ton of customization right now, and it's hard to only talk about my setup when I do think there are other setups out there that are good. But yeah, this is what works for me. So yeah, boys, hope y'all did enjoy the video today, man. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more college football ultimate team content just like this. Now, if you guys do want to go ahead and see me use some of these cards live on stream or use some of these ability setups live, I've been streaming here on both YouTube and Twitch. To watch on YouTube, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that noti bell as well. You'll be notified every time I upload or go live here. Or if you guys want to watch on the Twitch, check the links in the description, hit that Twitch with a follow. But if you guys do want another video to watch, check out this one right here.